Well, my first reaction when I heard about the NCAA tournament events and March Madness being canceled was simply that it's now March Sadness. I mean, this is the best sporting event that our country has. It is the most anticipated event. It runs for a better part of a month, and I think about all the athletes who are seniors who are not going to get to participate, and I especially think about Sabrina Ionescu and the Oregon Ducks women's program, because I really did feel that that was a team that could get to the Final Four and maybe win the whole thing. So I'm left feeling like they certainly deserve better. That said, this is the absolute right decision, and I think Mark Emmert and the NCAA got it right in canceling March Madness and putting public safety and public health in front of money. You think about what a multi-billion-dollar thing this NCAA tournament is, and I could feel the gears grinding as they were trying to make this decision. But ultimately, we saw sports, the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, the NFL, the college athletics. We saw all of sports put money on the back burner and make public health the issue. And I think there were a lot of people out there that didn't take the coronavirus seriously and essentially social distancing seriously until the NBA and others said, hey, this is serious to us. So in that, I think sports is leading the way. So I think it's a terrific thing. Okay, next.
Take a baby step to your right.
Okay, ready? The careers of Payton Prichard and Sabrina Ionescu. I mean, we're talking about two players who came back to Oregon, both of them the best players at their respective position nationally. I think it's a shame that we didn't know it was ending, right? We all go to games, we say, oh, this is their last game, we're going to pay careful attention, or this could be their last game in March Madness, but we didn't get that. Like, nobody got to see Payton Prichard's last game knowing that it was his last game, or Sabrina Ionescu. I was there at the conference tournament championship game. She hits that running three-pointer at the buzzer to beat the shot clock, and I went, wow, what a great player. But I didn't say, this is her last game, I better really soak it in. And I think that, to me, from a fan's perspective or a media perspective, ends up the thing that's a shame, that we all didn't know it was ending. And now for those two and a lot of other seniors, Michaela Pivick at Oregon State even, it's over. Okay, next. Look, I know that this is a short-term thing. We're all thinking in the short term, but I do think the Olympics are in jeopardy, and I think we could be without sports through the summer. Now, I don't want to go beyond that, but I think social distancing is going to help. Obviously, it's for the public benefit and public health, but I ultimately think that we're going to have to find out how to get along without sports as our diversion for the foreseeable future. Now, sports has always been a great diversion, right? It's been the thing that's taken us away from taxes and death and regular life, and it's done brilliantly in that capacity. But now, I think we're going to have to look to some other things. Like maybe it's Netflix, maybe it's you talking to your family members, maybe it's talking about the sports season and what could have been, right? Those barstool debates. But sports will still be a fabric in our community, in our society, but we're going to have to get along without the games, I think, for the foreseeable future. And I'm really concerned that the NBA season may be fully canceled. The Olympics may be canceled, given that they're supposed to be held in Japan. I think that through the summer, everything is in jeopardy. And finally. Look, stadiums become this place where people come and gather and come together to root for a team and high five and all of that stuff amid this coronavirus spreading of the virus. All of that stuff puts people in jeopardy. It puts our public health in jeopardy. So I think the sports leagues absolutely are getting it right. First, by reacting and saying, well, maybe we shouldn't have fans in the arena, then ultimately protecting the athletes and the student athletes in the college case. So I absolutely think they're getting this right. And finally, Pac-12 fans who were in Vegas, I talked to some of them at the venues, I talked to them at the airport. There was tremendous disappointment from Duck fans and Beaver fans, especially today. We were supposed to get a Civil War rubber match that would have been an elimination game in this Pac-12 tournament. We're not going to get that. I also think that those same fans, though, were understanding of what the college athletics was trying to do, what Mark Emmert and the NCAA was trying to do, trying to protect student athletes, trying to protect fans, trying to put public health and public safety in front of multi-billion-dollar tournaments. And that's different. We're watching sports lead, not just think about money. This isn't a lockout. This isn't a collective bargaining agreement. These are sports leagues that are saying, hey, public health has to come first. And I don't think anybody can think that that's a bad thing.
Can I ask you one more?
Yeah.
What surprised you most? Like, what are you leaving? You're leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What are you leaving thinking of?
I left Vegas thinking about all the student athletes that are not going to get another year. NBA players can come back and have the next season. NFL players, that life will go on. Those guys are paid, right? But in college, where there is a fleeting window of opportunity for somebody to compete, the Portland State athletes, many of which, I thought were going to win the Big Sky tournament, they're not going to get another year of eligibility if they're a senior. And a lot of the student athletes that aren't going to have WNBA careers or NBA careers, I thought about them as my plane was taking off leaving Vegas, because it's not just, wow, this is new ground. Wow, I can't believe they've canceled the NCAA tournament. For some of these athletes, they never got, and they will never get, the closure to what was their senior year and play that last game and have senior day and sort of the ceremony of it. It all got interrupted. And I think that's something that I think is going to take decades to rectify for some of these athletes as they look back and go, hey, I didn't get to finish that senior year.
One last question.
Yeah.
How eerie was it to be there as this was all unfolding?
It's new ground, right? We're on new ground, and there's no precedent for this. There's no, hey, we could go, hey, in 1970, there's no 1970. This has never happened. The NCAA tournament's never been canceled. The NBA season not been suspended, not for a lockout or a strike or something like that. We've seen those things, but nothing this jarring and across the sports landscape. So I think it was surreal to me to be putting on a credential, heading to a noon game in Las Vegas where I'm going to see Oregon and Oregon State play, and all of a sudden realizing players are being pulled off the court at other tournaments. The NCAA is canceling the NCAA tournament. It was just one thing after the other, completely surreal.